He said drive chapter 3. The crew drove through the day, stopping only for food, fuel, and bathroom breaks. They frequented the rest areas, which didn't seem quite as busy. They decided to stop at a campground halfway to their destination. Gemma set up the tent and arranged 3 cots inside. Who's sleeping in the tent? Hunter questioned. The VP and 2 of y'all, Gemma responded. Why aren't you sleeping in the tent? Landon snapped. I'm sleeping in the car, Gemma snapped back, with the one of you that doesn't sleep in the tent. Why is that? Landon continued his abrupt questioning. There are 3 cots and the VP needs protection, she growled at him, and that's what you all are trained for. Landon, Hunter intervened, you're in the tent with Justin. Landon turned to Hunter. Why do you decide? What are you, 10? Hunter was mystified. I am your supervisor. Hunter was turning red from anger. I am giving you a direct order, you're sleeping in the tent. Landon may have well been 10 the way he seemed to stomp off in the direction of the tent. Gemma climbed back into the SUV's driver's seat and reclined back. She reached back and grabbed one of the blankets the men had packed in the back seat, and then reached under her seat and grabbed her gun. She double-checked the chamber to make sure a round was in it, and placed the gun between the console and her seat. She looked up to see Hunter walking toward the vehicle. He opened the back door and climbed in. He stretched his feet across the back seat and sighed, a long deep sigh of relief. Without a word said between them, they both drifted off to sleep, their thoughts racing. They could guess what the other was thinking. Gemma woke up deep into the night, urgently needing to go to the bathroom. She dusted off the sleepiness and grabbed her gun. She put the off-duty holster on her belt and pulled her jacket over it. The keys to her car were safely tucked in her pocket as she quietly closed the car door, hoping not to disturb Hunter. She made her way to the small building housing the public restrooms. She went inside and did her business. She had just finished washing her hands when she heard someone talking. She quietly determined the talking was coming from just outside one of the windows in the back of the building. She made her way into the last stall and saw that the window was open to allow fresh air to circulate. Though he was mumbling, she could still understand his conversation. What are you waiting for? He's a sitting duck. Landon was infuriated. He paused as he listened to the response. We might be here for another hour or so. Ice ran through Gemma's veins as she listened. She knew 2 things. Landon was a traitor, and that was the only reason he had a phone. She backed up, going to leave to alert the others when she collided with someone. She spun around quickly to see Hunter standing behind her, motioning for her to be quiet. She stood quietly in the stall as Hunter continued to listen to the conversation. She prayed Hunter was not in on the plot. Hunter asked her through gestures if Landon had a phone. She nodded. Hunter walked to the stall door and pulled Gemma's arm, wanting her to follow. The 2 quietly made their way outside in the direction of Landon. Landon passed by their hiding spot in the darkness as he slapped his phone shut. He didn't even notice them as he walked away. What are you doing, Landon? Hunter questioned. Landon quickly spun around, startled by Hunter. Landon was momentarily speechless. Answer him, Landon, Justin said as he walked up from the campsite. When the men with large guns show up, should I shoot in your direction first? The VP was right behind Justin. You guys don't understand. Landon tried to defend himself. What? Did she tell you something? She didn't have to tell us anything, Hunter growled. We heard the conversation, Justin answered. The whole conversation, the vice president answered. The only question now is, what do we do with you? Hunter remarked in steely fashion. Landon found himself flexi-cuffed to a moderately sized tree. Hunter had handed Gemma Landon's gun to hold. Take this. Gemma, out of habit, immediately began to disarm the weapon. She popped the magazine out, looked at the ammunition, and soon realized it didn't need disarming. She turned to see Justin behind her, gathering the last few items. Justin, she mumbled and showed him the rounds in the magazine. He looked at them and she could almost see his blood pressure rise. Hunter, Justin barked as he dropped what he was doing. Hunter walked over and Justin handed him the magazine. Hunter immediately turned to Landon and saw Gemma slug him across the jaw. Hunter already thought she was attractive. This just cemented his opinion. That's for my kids and almost getting me killed, Gemma growled and grabbed a few things for the other 2 agents. I'll turn myself in when it's all over. What is it? The VP questioned the 2 as he arrived where they were standing. He's been shooting blanks, Justin advised him. Good for her. The VP nodded and followed Gemma to the car. You're not turning yourself in? The VP watched her pack the back of the car. I'm going to get you a pardon. The other 2 men walked up as Gemma turned back to Landon. Is the camping gear packed? Hunter asked Gemma. She nodded as she admired how Landon was handcuffed to the tree. The The satisfaction showed on her face. Then we're all set, Justin said as if on a family vacation. The remaining 4 climbed in the SUV. Hunter opened the phone that Landon had. He dialed a number and put the phone to his ear. Jace? Hunter waited for a response. I have a present for you at the Route 3 campground in far west North Carolina. Hunter listened again as the man on the other end responded. I'm in a pickle right now, but I will call you when this is done. Can you get my position from this signal? Hunter paused again. That's where I am. Right now the charge is attempted murder, 4 counts. Hunter listened while Jace talked. Thanks man, I owe you several beers. Hunter left the line open and tossed the cell out the window. Gemma drove off, leaving Landon behind. That was your buddy with the marshals? Justin questioned. You got it? Hunter turned around and smiled. Gentlemen, the VP sighed, and lady, when this is over I'll buy us all several beers. I think we'll all take you up on that, Justin commented as they entered the highway. The 4 made their way toward their destination, but soon had to stop for gas and the bathroom. The VP went inside still dressed in his jeans and flannel work shirt he obtained from Connor. The ball cap on his head made him look like a retiree heading out on a fishing trip. Gemma picked a few items off of the shelf, paying cash for the snacks, not wanting to be found or traced with her credit or debt cards. She started heading back to the car, happy for the quick stop. Honey, look, Gemma heard one lady shriek. It's the vice president. A man in Bermuda shorts and a tourist t-shirt spun around quickly. Let me take a picture. Stand next to him, honey. The man quickly produced a small camera. No, ma'am, the VP tried to get out of this, trying not to be recognized. I'm not who you think I am. Gemma casually walked up with the best smile she could produce on her face. Pop, what's going on? Gemma questioned. Do they think you're the vice president? The VP chuckled. Yes, sweetheart. Well, that's the 3rd time this trip, Pop. Gemma laughed as if it was a big inside joke. Oh, I'm so sorry, the lady apologized. Hunter walked up with his chest swollen, looking as if he was ready to take the tourist couple down to get out of the service station. Dear. Gemma turned to Hunter and smiled, reaching out and grabbing his hand. It happened again, they think Pop's the vice president. Gemma laughed, hoping her act was fooling the unsuspecting couple. Hunter chuckled. That's what, the 2nd time today? It's the 3rd time this trip. Gemma laughed again as Justin walked past and headed to the car. Hunter put his arm across Gemma's shoulders as if they were a couple. He was enjoying the current task. We're so sorry, the man apologized. No, really it's okay, but now we have to get back on the road, Gemma assured the pair. Now we're off to Myrtle Beach. Have fun, the lady looked terribly embarrassed. Thank you, I hope y'all have fun too. Gemma smiled at them as the 3 headed out to the car. Justin had paid for the gas and was waiting for them near the door. They all climbed in as Justin sped off. That was close, the VP remarked. Gemma sighed from the front passenger seat. That was some quick thinking. Justin turned to Gemma with a big grin. That was survival, Gemma responded. They all laughed, relieved the situation was over. They continued down the highway, and Gemma glanced again in the passenger's side rearview mirror. She looked up to see the same car that she saw 50 miles behind them. On their scenic route, no one would know they were in northern Georgia. Hey, Gemma turned to Justin. I need to use the bathroom. Justin looked at her and had a feeling she knew the car was behind them. I'll pull over right here, Justin replied and exited the interstate. He approached the stop sign, casually keeping an eye on the car. The car exited with them. She looked at the service station and noted it wasn't the cleanest. Why don't you go to the next exit? This one doesn't look too clean. Justin then knew she saw the car that seemed to be following. I was thinking the same thing, Justin chuckled. Justin drove across the lanes of travel to the on-ramp. The car followed. You know what, just let me know when you find a clean restroom. Gemma took her seatbelt off. I'm going to go stretch out in the back. Justin nodded. He knew she was going to look for some sort of tracking device in the back where Landon was sitting. Excuse me, gentlemen. Gemma crawled between the 2 men in the middle seat. She made it to the back and began searching. It didn't take long for her to locate some sort of device. She detached the instrument and handed it to Hunter. It looked to be battery-operated and it was very small. Hunter studied it and handed it to Justin. Justin put the small bug in his pants pocket, intending to leave the item at the next stop. Hunter turned to Gemma and patted her on the shoulder as she continued to dig. He mouthed the words, "Keep looking." Gemma nodded and continued her search. She found 2 more and handed them to Hunter. They appeared to be the same type of device, which Hunter in turn handed it to Justin. Gemma, Justin shouted, this looks like a clean restroom. That was quick, Gemma shouted from the back. Gemma leaned in close to Hunter's ear. Keep looking. She made the statement as quietly as she could. Hunter nodded, enjoying her closeness. Gemma climbed back to the front. Where's the car? Gemma mouthed to Justin. He slightly tipped his head to his left. Gemma turned to the back. Do y'all want anything from inside? Gemma asked as she studied the car. I'm going to go in with you, Justin informed her as he popped open his door. Yes, the VP said, I'd like a drink if you wouldn't mind. Not at all, Gemma stated him as she climbed out of the SUV. Hunter, can you check the air in the tires? Hunter climbed over the seats and wondered what she was getting at. He stepped out of the vehicle and pulled her to the front of the car as Justin waited. Why the tires? It's a somewhat inconspicuous way of checking the outside of the car. She saw a look of acknowledgement in his eyes. Don't forget to check the spare, she shouted as she walked away. It's in the back in the undercarriage. Her and Justin walked in and ducked into the bathroom. She popped open the vent window and squeezed through it. Justin was right behind her. They trudged through the weeds behind the service station to the edge of the building. They formed a plan to assault the vehicle following them and ducked behind the car. Gemma pulled out her badge wallet and knocked on the window. The driver rolled his window down. Hi, I'm Officer Lambert, Gemma stated very officially while displaying her badge. I need to see some identification. Justin stood eyeing the front seat passenger while Gemma did the talking. Sure, officer, the man stated casually as he put his hand near his back pocket. Gemma immediately saw the butt of a gun. Gemma quickly drew her weapon and put it to the man's head. You really should rethink that idea, she spoke coolly. Hunter came screaming around the corner of the building in the SUV. Throwing it in park, he jumped out and opened the driver's door. He pulled the man out as Justin and Gemma kept the passenger at gunpoint. Hunter removed the man's weapon and pulled his ID. Who are you working for? Hunter demanded. You will never stop us, the man replied with a smirk. Hunter spun him around and slammed him up against the car. Try me, Hunter taunted him gruffly. He put the man in flexi cuffs and hogtied him. He was placed in the back seat and the other man was disarmed and hogtied in the front seat. Hunter threw all of the tracking devices on the driver's floorboard. They'll find you soon enough, Justin informed the men and slammed the car door. Hunter ducked inside and purchased a prepaid cell phone. He called his buddy with the Marshal Service and pointed him in the right direction. What the hell is going on, Hunter? Jace questioned. Worst case scenario, Hunter responded. Give me 2 days and I'll get you a full report. You got it, Jace responded, and Hunter left the phone sitting on the trunk of the suspect's car. Hunter walked over to the SUV and climbed in next to the VP. Mr. Vice President? Hunter handed him a drink. Thank you, Hunter. The four decided to drive continuously. They stopped a few miles up the highway and topped off the tank with gas. They would only stop now to change drivers. Their destination was now Camp Lejeune.